face of DiJonai Carrington.
The league doesn't step up and protect her, things are going to get ugly real fast.
Anybody that does something flagrant to this young lady for what she's brought to the game should be suspended and fined big time.
Hello and welcome back. Today, we're covering a growing WNBA controversy involving Sophie Cunningham and DiJonai Carrington. Following the recent incident, Steph Curry reportedly shared his thoughts on the situation, and his comments quickly spread across social media. The story has sparked intense debate, with fans eager to find out what really happened. Before we break down everything, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's get straight into the full story. Imagine one of the greatest basketball players in history watching one of the WNBA's toughest competitors repeatedly become the center of controversial situations. You are about to see how the basketball world was shaken by Stephen Curry's reported reaction to DiJonai Carrington's actions involving Sophie Cunningham. But first, let us ask you something. Have you ever seen a professional athlete face the kind of treatment that Sophie Cunningham has dealt with throughout her career? What reportedly happened during the Chicago Sky game completely changed the way Steph Curry viewed the current situation in the WNBA. According to the discussion surrounding the incident, his perspective placed even more attention on DiJonai Carrington. Many people believe Steph Curry recognized something familiar because he once experienced similar treatment himself. During his career, Curry was the best player in a league filled with elite athletes, and when opponents could not match his incredible basketball IQ and skill, they often tried to slow him down with physical play. That experience is why this situation reportedly stood out to him. This is where the conversation surrounding DiJonai Carrington becomes even more interesting. Steph Curry understands the difference between tough, championship-level basketball and actions that cross the line. According to the viral claims, he described what he saw as one of the most cowardly acts ever witnessed on a basketball court in decades.
On given, the latest is a clothesline foul on Sophie Cunningham by DiJonai Carrington, the woman that went on an incredibly racist rant against cab driver and, of course, knocked the hell out of Caitlin Clark from behind her rookie year. But that's okay. I'm not mad at that kind of basketball. That's all good. But the problem is after. It was white privilege. White girl goes to the basket. African-American woman knocks her on her ass, clothesliner, knocks her down, upgraded to a flagrant 2.
After watching the footage of DiJonai Carrington making contact with Sophie Cunningham from behind while Sophie was still reacting after being poked in the eye, Steph Curry reportedly responded immediately with strong criticism. As someone who has competed against some of the toughest defenders in basketball history, Curry understands what real competitive intensity looks like. Throughout his career, he faced physical defenders and relentless pressure, yet many people believe he also knows the difference between hard basketball and actions that cross the line of fair competition. According to the viral discussion surrounding the incident, Curry believed the timing of the contact raised serious concerns about sportsmanship and competitive integrity. His reported analysis quickly became a major topic of conversation among basketball fans. Before we continue, if you have not already, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your opinion in the comments. Now, let's get back to the story. Curry reportedly addressed something that many fans had been thinking for a long time but believed very few high-profile figures were willing to say publicly. According to those claims, taking a cheap shot at a player who is already vulnerable and not expecting contact is completely different from playing tough, championship-level defense. Curry has often spoken about competing during one of the most physical eras of basketball, where players challenged each other face-to-face instead of waiting for the perfect moment to catch an opponent off guard. That belief is why many people say this incident stood out to him. According to the discussion online, Curry was especially disappointed by what he believed he saw. Many fans also focused on DiJonai Carrington's response after the incident. Instead of accepting responsibility, critics argued that she suggested the media and fans were judging her unfairly, saying, "Damned if I do, damned if I don't." That reaction reportedly made the situation even more controversial. According to the claims being shared, Curry believes the greatest competitors always accept responsibility for their actions, especially when another player's safety could be involved. Reports also suggest he was reminded of players who struggled to compete with elite talent and instead looked for other ways to influence the game. Supporters interpreted those comments as criticism of relying on questionable tactics instead of basketball skill. This is also where many people believe Curry's view of Sophie Cunningham became especially important. According to the discussion, he sees in Sophie many of the qualities that define elite competitors, including high basketball IQ, confidence in pressure moments, and the ability to inspire teammates around her. At the same time, he reportedly finds it disappointing that a player with that kind of talent must also stay alert for unnecessary physical plays instead of focusing entirely on her game. According to the conversation surrounding his remarks, Curry believes that the best way to challenge a talented opponent is through preparation, effort, and basketball ability, not through questionable physical tactics. He reportedly argued that when a player is at their most vulnerable, that is never the right moment for unnecessary contact. Those comments quickly became one of the biggest talking points across the basketball world. Many people also pointed out that Curry compared parts of the situation to some of the physical treatment he experienced during his own career. According to the viral claims, he wanted to place Sophie's situation into a broader basketball context and explain why it concerned him so much. Supporters of that viewpoint argued that, despite her young age, Sophie Cunningham has already dealt with an unusual amount of pressure and attention while also carrying the expectations that come with being one of the most recognizable names in women's basketball.
I don't think that DiJonai intentionally came out to get her across the neck like she did, but it did happen, and I thought it was the right call. But, you know, one of the things about Nay is that she's going to play her butt off, man. She's going to compete. Nobody's going to go walking in for a layup. And so I don't oppose the hard foul, but I also don't think that she intentionally went for the neck.
However, the reported comments being shared across social media about Stephen Curry's view of DiJonai Carrington's future have sparked intense debate. According to those viral claims, Curry believes that if the WNBA allows players to repeatedly target star athletes without meaningful consequences, it sends the message that average players can stay relevant through questionable tactics instead of improving their basketball skills. He reportedly argued that this creates a dangerous standard that could discourage the very players who are helping raise the level of the league. Curry also reportedly suggested that failing to properly address these situations sends the wrong message to young fans watching at home. According to the discussion, he believes basketball should inspire young players to value skill, hard work, discipline, and sportsmanship instead of teaching them that unnecessary physical play is an acceptable way to compete. Perhaps the most talked about part of his reported remarks was his prediction for Sophie Cunningham's future. According to the claims, Curry believes that every challenge, every hard foul, every cheap shot, and every attempt to intimidate her has only made her mentally stronger and even more determined to prove herself through talent and basketball ability alone. Many supporters compared those remarks to Curry's own early NBA career, when opponents constantly tested him with physical defense in an effort to slow him down. According to the discussion, Curry believes Sophie is dealing with those same challenges while also handling the enormous expectations and media attention that come with being one of the league's most recognizable stars. That is why many people believe his support for Sophie extends far beyond one single incident. According to the conversation surrounding his comments, Curry is defending what he believes basketball should represent. Supporters say he sees Sophie Cunningham as a player who reflects talent, vision, determination, sportsmanship, and competitiveness, while arguing that repeated questionable plays damage the image of the game itself. Reports also suggest Curry believes the WNBA has reached an important moment in its growth. According to those claims, the league now faces two possible paths. One option is to protect its biggest stars and allow elite players like Sophie Cunningham to continue growing the game through their talent. The other is to allow controversial incidents to continue creating distractions that take attention away from basketball. According to the reported remarks, the decision the league makes could influence its future for years to come. That brings us to the question everyone is asking. Will the WNBA respond to the concerns being discussed and place a stronger focus on protecting its players, or will these debates continue to dominate the conversation? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree with the reported criticism attributed to Stephen Curry, or do you believe the reaction has gone too far? More importantly, what do you think the league should do moving forward? Share your opinion in the comments because we read every single one. If you enjoy basketball coverage that looks beyond the headlines and breaks down the biggest stories in the sport, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another update. The basketball world continues to follow this situation closely, and many fans are waiting to see what happens next.
Of kind of dirty foul, so to speak. This is the same player that poked Caitlin Clark in the eye with her long-ass fingernails last year. Take a look.
This clip is going viral of Caitlin Clark getting poked in the eye by DiJonai Carrington. It happened in the first quarter when Clark tried passing the ball to her teammate Aaliyah Boston, but Carrington poked Clark in the eye while trying to deflect the pass. No foul was called, but Clark had to take a second to regain her composure. In the third quarter, DiJonai was defending Caitlin again when Caitlin hit DiJonai in the head, knocking out one of her contacts. No foul was called, but DiJonai had to take a second to put her contact back in.
One game, one hard foul, or one controversial moment is no longer the only thing people are talking about. The conversation has grown into something much bigger. It is now about the future of women's basketball, the standards the league wants to uphold, and how its biggest stars are treated when the spotlight is at its brightest. Very few players have entered the WNBA with the level of expectations that surround Sophie Cunningham. Millions of fans follow every game she plays. Every move she makes is analyzed from every angle. Every success is celebrated, and every setback quickly becomes a major headline. That is the reality of being one of the biggest names in basketball today. At the same time, experienced veterans across the league continue to compete at the highest level, bringing years of toughness, pride, and experience into every game. The real challenge for the WNBA is making sure that intense competition never crosses the line into unnecessary or dangerous play. Fans want physical basketball. They want real rivalries. They want high-level competition. But they also expect fairness, consistency, and respect for every player on the court. That is one reason the reported comments attributed to Steph Curry have created so much discussion. As someone who understands the pressure that comes with performing on the biggest stage, many believe his opinion carries significant weight. Throughout his career, Curry competed against some of the toughest defenders basketball has ever seen. According to the discussion surrounding his remarks, his message was never about removing physical basketball. Instead, it was about protecting the integrity of the game and making sure that talent and skill remained the biggest story instead of controversy. Whether people completely agree with his reported comments or believe the situation has been exaggerated, the debate continues to grow. Fans, analysts, former players, and media personalities are all asking the same questions. Should officials be more strict when it comes to dangerous plays? Should the league introduce tougher penalties? Or is this simply part of playing professional basketball? Everyone seems to have a different opinion. One thing that has stood out throughout the entire situation is Sophie Cunningham's response. Rather than allowing controversy, criticism, or physical play to define her career, she has continued to focus on basketball. She keeps showing up, competing at a high level, and reminding fans why so many people believe she has a bright future in the sport. That determination is one of the biggest reasons her supporters continue to stand behind her. At the same time, the WNBA is receiving more attention than ever before. Social media discussions continue to grow every day. Arenas are filling with fans. Television ratings are increasing, and more people than ever are discovering women's basketball for the first time. Because of that, moments like these affect much more than a single game or one individual player. They help shape how the league is viewed around the world. As the season moves forward, every game will receive even more attention. Every appearance by Sophie Cunningham will be closely watched. Every controversial play will be analyzed. Every decision made by the officials will be debated. Each game will become another chapter in what has already become one of the most talked about seasons in recent WNBA history. Now the biggest question belongs to you. Do you believe the reported comments attributed to Steph Curry accurately reflect the current state of the league? Do you think the WNBA is doing enough to protect its biggest stars while still allowing competitive, physical basketball? And how do you think this situation will affect DiJonai Carrington, Sophie Cunningham, and the league moving forward? We genuinely want to hear what basketball fans around the world think, so be sure to share your opinion in the comments below. Respectful discussion is what makes this community special, and your comment could even be featured in a future video. As this story continues to develop, one thing is becoming increasingly clear. What started as one controversial incident has grown into a much larger conversation about accountability, respect, competition, and the future of women's basketball. Sophie Cunningham has become the center of one of the biggest discussions in the sport. Whether you support her, disagree with her, or are simply trying to understand everything that happened, there is no denying that this story has captured the attention of the basketball world. The WNBA continues to grow faster than ever, and with that growth comes even greater attention. Every game is closely followed. Every hard foul is reviewed. Every reaction becomes a headline, and every controversial moment can spread across social media within minutes. That also means the league carries an important responsibility to make sure the intensity and physical play that fans enjoy never crosses into unnecessary or dangerous actions. Fans are not asking for a softer game. They want passion, fierce rivalries, and players giving everything they have every time they step onto the court. At the same time, fans also expect fairness, respect, and consistent standards for every player. That is exactly why moments like this matter so much. They affect far more than just DiJonai Carrington and Sophie Cunningham. They have the potential to shape how millions of basketball fans view the WNBA as a whole. Now, all eyes are on what happens next. Will the league respond with stronger action? Will officials place an even greater focus on protecting players during controversial situations? Or will this simply become another chapter in the long history of intense basketball rivalries? Only time will provide the answer. One thing that seems certain, however, is that Sophie Cunningham has continued to show the determination that has made her one of the most talked about players in the game. Rather than allowing outside noise or social media debates to control the narrative, she has the opportunity to let her performance on the court speak for itself. That is one of the reasons sports remains so exciting and unpredictable. One game can completely change the conversation. One outstanding performance can silence critics, and one unforgettable moment can become part of basketball history forever. Now we want to hear directly from you. What do you think about everything that has happened? Do you believe DiJonai Carrington crossed the line? Do you think the WNBA should introduce stricter rules and tougher penalties when situations like this occur? Or do you believe the reaction has been exaggerated and that physical play is simply part of professional basketball? Your opinion matters, so share your honest thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this kind of WNBA coverage and analysis, be sure to subscribe so you never miss another major update, breaking story, controversial moment, or important discussion from around the basketball world. Turn on notifications so you are always the first to know when a new video goes live. We will continue following this story closely and keep you updated if there are any major developments. Let us know what you think should happen next, and share this video with another basketball fan who would want to stay informed about everything happening in the WNBA. Thank you so much for watching, supporting the channel, and being part of our growing basketball community. The biggest games of the season are still ahead, and the next major story could happen at any moment. Until then, stay informed, stay connected, and most importantly, keep enjoying the game you love. We will see you in the next video. Until then, take care, stay safe, and thanks again for watching.